Hey everybody, it's Peter, and behind me is the 2024 Sea-Doo Switch Cruise Limited, or as the sticker on the side says, Switch Limited. This is all new for 2024, and I say all new, what I mean is it's a new trim package, and what we're gonna do in this video is go through it in detail. Now, when I say in detail, there is a great website. Can-Am has a great website with all kinds of things that can show you, specs and that kind of thing. What I'm gonna try to show you is some of the things the other videos don't show you and the website doesn't show you, just practical things about this unit so you have a little bit of a different video than you've seen in some of the other ones. Now, if you've seen my videos before, I just recently, a couple weeks ago or so, did the Sea-Doo Switch, the compact sport model, so much shorter. This one's about 21 feet, so this is as long as they get, and I did the other one which was as short as they get. This one's gonna have a number of features standard that one doesn't have, some of which will be optional in other models, some of which won't be. What I'm gonna do here is cover this as best I can, and what I'm hoping from you is if you have any interest in this Switch lineup at all, do me a favor and thank Extreme Torque Motorsports. They give me complete access to their entire product line, and I'm gonna cover as many as you want me to cover. So again, we started sort of at the lower end. It was the sport model, but it was the smaller end, more entry level. Now we're moving up to the top end, and I can cover everything in between. We can cover accessories, we can cover all that stuff. But what I need from you is to show them support by just hitting the like on this video, maybe sharing it with some friends, and subscribe if you're interested, because we will have more things. And again, if you're anywhere in New Brunswick, Fredericton, Moncton, and Woodstock, there's 3 locations to Extreme Torque Motorsports. They're awesome. They've got stuff everywhere. Their staff is incredible, and I'm not a full expert on this stuff, but I can tell you out of all the dealerships I visit, they are really good experts. They know their stuff. So if you want to know about this stuff, this is the place to go. And again, with anything in the Can-Am lineup, you're going to want to accessorize them a little bit. These guys are really good with helping you kind of find that right mix of accessories for what you want to do. All right, big log intro. Let's get going with the review. So as I'm squinting into the sunshine here, forgive that little bit, but let's talk about sort of the class of what this is in and what makes it unique, because I think a lot of people just sort of say Sea-Doo motor kind of thing, and they kind of glaze over a lot of the ingenuity that's put into this, and that's what I'm going to try to cover here. But first of all, we know pontoon boats are popular, right? They've got a lot of space, you can take a lot of people, but they become a little bit more one-dimensional. Now, I don't know the exact name for calling this the Switch, but in my mind, it really does allow you to switch between a nice cruising boat where you can take a bunch of people out and just kind of use it as a platform or a dock on the lake, whether that's fishing, whether that's swimming, whether it's just hanging out and chilling out, maybe, watching the sun come up or down. That's all great to do in this boat. But the real benefit of a boat like this is it also is a sport boat. So you have this big open platform on something that's not too heavy to tow behind a vehicle, but you also have the ability to do your tubing, your skiing, those kind of tow sports behind it, and it is a really good tow sport type vehicle or tow sport type boat. So it really does give you the best mix of both. Now, some would argue that maybe this isn't as luxurious as the top of the line pontoon boats, and that case can be made when you start comparing prices that are even double this. But when you start looking at value, the value in this boat is very, very good. And I would argue that some of those luxury branded boats with the little more curved off front end or the really plush looking couch, they're really no more comfortable than something like this, and they certainly are less versatile. Even just because you have an extra tube down the middle doesn't make it a sport boat more like this one is. So this one's we're gonna try to point out some of the unique versatility pieces in this one. It's not just the design of it, but let's start at the back of the boat. We're gonna move our way forward. I'm not gonna use boat terms like starboard and port and stern and bow and all those kind of things. I'm gonna talk regular language because I'm not really, on this channel I review a lot of other things and I know I'm gonna slip up, so let's just call it off the bat. Those are the terms I'm gonna use. Let's start at the back of the boat. So taking a look at the back of this boat, again, camera can skew the view a little bit. Maybe it's not quite level based on me on the ground, but what you're looking at, first of all, is the galvanized trailer. You can get a painted or galvanized trailer. Most of the ones in stock here are galvanized, although I do see a painted one as I turn around and look at one. So again, your choice on that. I like the galvanized ones myself, but the trailer is included in the price of the boat. So that's not one of those secret things they kind of add on at the last minute and go, oh, by the way, that was just the boat we were talking about. No, trailer's included. So that's, again, something that's good to know. Now we're going to zoom in a little bit here. You can see it's a typical kind of pontoon boat on the sides. I mean, a little different style there, of course, but that's, not too crazy. But down here, you know, if you squint a little bit, you can see certainly the jet ski roots. It almost looks like a jet ski is just kind of built into this unit. And that's really what we're dealing with, is a jet drive. Now that's going to give you advantages in parking. It's going to give you advantage in the fact that there's no propeller. And because this particular boat that we're looking at today, the compact sport model that we had didn't have this swim platform, and we'll show you a better angle of the swim platform. But if I'm at this swim platform with my chest, I can't even reach with my 6-foot frame down to the jet drive area. So you're nowhere near a propeller because a propeller doesn't exist, but you're also nowhere near that jet drive if you're getting on and off that swim platform. Now there are a couple other little things. We're going to zoom over here. On the sport model without the swim platform that was there, we had this little piece here that would pull out for a ladder. So now that piece doesn't pull out. You have the ladder out on the swim platform. And as we move up, you can see you do have a door here, but it's blocked by some seats up there. We're going to take a look at those seats on the sunny side so you can see them a little bit better. But those seats are removable and placeable anywhere else in the boat, or taken out anything you want. So we'll talk about that as we head inside. Let's go to the side first, and then we're going to work our way inside. All right, looking to the side here, a couple things I want to point out. First of all, there's this nice kind of Rotax kind of carved in. This is a very textured surface, and where you see Rotax there, it may not show perfectly on camera, but that is just sort of a smoothed out area. So there's that Rotax power. I don't know if you can see the power perfectly there, but that is in there, 230 horsepower. So again, in the Switch lineup, there's various horsepower levels. This one's got 230. And then as we look along the side, again, colors are not going to transfer perfectly. I do some color correction on my videos, but even the fact that this camera's filming it and whatever you're watching on isn't going to show perfectly. But this is a little bit more of a grayed out. I'm going to be very honest. I have trouble identifying between grays and blues. So to me, it's that light gray, light blue. I believe it is a grayed out color, but it is a little bit different. It's more white on the other boats, and it's a little bit more grayish, or I'm going to say grayish bluish, because honestly, I cannot tell the difference between the two of them. So again, on camera, I'm not sure what it'll look like on your screen, but it is a little bit more tinted color than the bright white of the other boats, and that's one of the ways you can tell that this is the Limited. We're going to take you to the front for a second, and before we hop in, and just show you one other thing. All right, so the camera's fully wide angle. You can sort of see where we are near the bow, near the front, as I'm going to call it the rest of the video. And you can see the only other real obvious sign on the outside is the label right there, Switch Limited. So that is the only thing that's going to tell you if you're not sort of a real keen eye on the exact color. Now again, to me, it is very noticeable that it is a little bit more gray than some of the boats over there, which are clearly white. Now again, gray or blue, like I said, I have trouble telling that. I apologize for that. You can make fun of me in the comments, feel free. All right, so we've got the tie downs here. Lots to talk about. Let's move our way inside or aboard the boat right now. All right, now as I'm about to jump inside, you're gonna see I'm gonna use the stairs right here, and you can see that sort of larger hull of the, you know, Sea-Doo type center hull. So again, this is not just a regular pontoon. That is a bigger section there than the pontoons on the outside. So you have the stability of sort of the trimaran kind of feel, but you also have a little bit larger hull. So it's gonna bank into corners just like a regular boat would. So it's gonna be very familiar that way. I'm gonna jump inside. We may have to pause the video. It looks like we may have a delivery coming in here, but I'm gonna just sort of show you how the stairs work, and then we'll jump in here. So let me show you how the stairs work over here. Again, built into the trailer, coming up here, and I can come up to there. I can stand on the area myself. You just lift this up and swing it in, and it sort of pops back down. And there is the entrance to the boat. We're gonna show you what's in here in a second, and then we're gonna wander our way through here. All right, just to give you a sense of where we are, very front of the boat here, I'm gonna go wide angle. So again, that skews the views on the outside. We're just gonna go to the sort of standard view here. And this is a really nice piece in here. This panel sort of pops off. It is attached by a little tether strip there. And you can stick your anchor down in this spot. Now, despite the fact this is limited, I believe the anchor is still an option on this boat, but there is a spot for it right down here. So that's a really convenient spot to have it at the very front of the boat. And again, easy to just pop this panel in and out. Oops, got that little tether cord stuck out there, so I'm gonna just sort of fix that. But it is very easy to do, and clip back in there. So you can access that from on the boat, you can access it from in front of the boat, whatever you want to do. Sometimes you're walking around in shallow water, you can just pull it out here. Again, convenient location, out of the way, but easy to get to. The other thing you're gonna notice, maybe a little bit from this angle, is all of these panels here. Now, in a previous video, I did the sport model, and it had the plastic panels. You're gonna see plastic panels here as well, but these are the padded ones, and because of that, I'm gonna obey the boat rules and take my shoes off as I head my way in. So before we start showing you the details of this boat, I got you in a wide angle view again. So that's gonna skew the angles. It's gonna make it look a little longer than it should. But I wanna show you, I'm 6 feet tall. I got lots of space up here, and this is the lowest part. Once you step back here, I can stick my arm straight up in the air, flat-handed. So 6 foot tall, lots of space to walk around. We're gonna show you why that's kind of designed like that in a second, but you can kind of see what's going on here. Underneath my feet, these lighter tiles are very soft, very comfortable on my feet. You can lay down on these and be comfortable, so that's kind of nice. Over here is a more hard plastic, so we're gonna show you that as we get closer in a second. Got a 3-person couch up there, a 2-person couch up here, you got a table in the middle, you got a 4-position couch back here, 2 there, 1 here, and the captain's chair right here by the helm. So we're gonna show you all this. Most of this is movable, except for the helm and the captain's chair, so we're gonna show you some of that. Let's turn around and show you the other way, and we'll start showing bit by bit. All right, so where I'm filming from is still in front of the Bimini. I'm about 6 or 8 panels back. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 10 panels here. So when I say 10, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So you got 6 in front of you. There's 10 panels in front of the Bimini, just to give you a bit of a sense of what's going on. We'll show you that in a second. Over in the front here, you have some cup holders and some fancy design things. What are those? Well, if we zoom in a little bit, you should be able to see, hopefully, that says JBL audio. So that is the audio, the speaker system on this boat. There are both sides here. I have not played it, and I won't play it for the video because my mic won't pick it up and reproduce it accurately, but this is supposed to be class-leading sound, and I believe that. Now, even the speakers themselves do have a little disconnect, so I think you can move them around, but they are corner units, and I think most people are gonna leave them in place. What I do wanna show you, though, is the seats here, and this is where things get kind of interesting on this boat. So what we're doing is we're looking at the left side of the boat, so that would be the port side of the boat, the opposite of the helm, but in front of the Bimini, and this is the front sort of couch. Now this is just the layout that they have from the factory. You can put it any way you want, but anything with these yellow tabs on the bottom, they are removable. And remember I talked about how some of the more luxury boats have these lounge-looking things that are supposedly more comfortable? I'm not sure that they are. This has really soft, squishy padding on the bottom, on the backs, everywhere you have, and this is a very, very comfortable unit. So whether you're flying through the lake out front here or whether you're just kind of cruising, again, this is a super comfortable area. But again, you can adapt this thing. You can move it around, you can kind of place it. So right now there's sort of a hallway right to the front entrance, and we'll show you the back in a second from this perspective. But it's very comfortable in here, even though it's more of a sport boat than a pure luxury boat. I don't think it's worth spending the extra money for something that appears nice in a brochure over what this is. It's gonna be just as comfortable in my opinion. One thing I do want to point out about the seats here, you're going to see that yellow stripe, that's part of this top line package here. And then you're also going to see on the bottom here, those little white strips in front of where the seats are. So right there, right there, right there. All of those are LED lighting. So this has accent LED lighting, which looks pretty cool. It is bright daylight and I'm filming, so it's probably not gonna show up perfectly on camera. Now the chair I was sitting in, or this bench I was sitting in, is right there. You can see that there's a little connection table right here. That table can come out, but there's nothing underneath it. So what's cool about that is if you wanna stick a cooler in there, if you wanna stick maybe a dog bed or something like that, you've still got the wall on the outside, the soft walls on the outside, but you have some space. Instead of having a table leg down there, you've got extra storage space, anything you want. I mean, if it's just gear, like maybe it's, I don't know, like wakeboards or something like that, you want to have it sort of out of the way, or like I said, food, anything you want, you've got room down there. Now this couch out back is even bigger than the front one. So remember, I'm a 6-footer, I fit fine on the front one. You've got more spaces there. So it had 3 in the front, it's got 4 in the back. Let's go take a look at some of that right now. All right, just to get everything in this shot, I am filming in wide angle again. I'm gonna do something I've never done in a video that I know of. I'm gonna lay down here. Again, 6-footer, easily laying down here. It's over 6 feet, or just about 6 feet exactly, on this bed here. So you've got the 4 pieces allowing you to have a 6-foot bed there, which you can fully lay down in. Now again, same setup as before, you can move things around. So just so you know, that couch is super comfortable. And then that couch is across from the helm here. Again, I'm still in that wide angle view. I'll just sort of switch it up here. We're gonna show you the helm seat in a second, but we're gonna move our way back. So you can sort of see all these white padded panels, including into that section, are all padded. So you've got a nice padded floor. You've got the JBL speakers out front, and then you've got the lots of couches. So again, tons of space here, whether you're fishing, entertaining, whatever you wanna do, you've got lots of space. Now let's flip the camera around from the helm. So we're gonna stand sort of beside here and look backwards now. All right, so looking at the 2 seats on the rear, they sort of block that hallway that is this boat, and there is a door behind there. Remember we showed you that? So I'm gonna go wide angle for a second just to kind of show you where we are. Helm seat, there is another seat beside there, and the 2 seats in the back here. Now, I'm gonna keep it on wide angle because I don't want to zoom in too close to awkward angles here, but I'm going to show you how easily and how light these things are. So first of all, you can just pop this thing down, and if you wanted to, you could just kind of lay across there. Again, JBL speaker here, just a pad here on this side with a cup holder, but you can pop that down there, and then you just pull this little lever here, and you grab the handle, and boom, the entire seat comes out. And if I grab it the right way, super light, nice and easy to handle. You can see it's hollow in the bottom there. So again, I can easily carry that. If you can carry a toddler or a not too heavy dog, you can do that. And then of course you can take them both out. Then you can place these in other spots in the boat if you wanted to, or you could take them out, do whatever you want. But then you have full access. So if you're doing a lot of like wakeboarding or water sports, you can have one seat out, you can have both seats out. You can have this door here easily accessible all the way through the front and back. So that's a super nice feature to have, because you can sort of see, you can start moving all the stuff around and set up exactly the way you want. You want to take seats out and just have open a fishing platform out front, but allowing stuff underneath this bimini, you can do that, no problem. And they're really easy to put in and out. Haven't practiced putting it back in here. It's been a couple weeks since I've done it, so let's just try it. We set it in there, it sets in place, we lock it, and then there's a tab somewhere right here. I'm gonna pull that out, lift it. I am secured in place, no problem. It's not gonna fall out or go anywhere. So really nice, easily to remove these seats right here. Let's take a look at the helm now. So I'm currently sitting in the captain's chair, the helmsman's seat or whatever you want to call it. And what we have here is a very interesting setup. This is a little different than a typical boat. It's not a steering wheel. Now, if you followed Sea-Doo at all, you've got your throttle here, which is a 2-finger trigger on the right side, and you've got this sort of intelligent brake and reverse. And what that can allow a Sea-Doo to do is almost move what's seemingly directly sideways. It's super, super, super easy to dock. So a lot of people think, oh, I want a steering wheel because I'm more used to that. And I get that, but what this does is it frees up the space around me. I don't know if you can sort of see over here. Yeah, you can see. Frees up the space around me to have a lot of space. I can put my feet up and out and lots of space and comfort, and you just control it from here. Now, again, you can still do it one-handed unless you want to hit the brakes or something like that. And again, you actually have brakes on a boat like this, which makes it pretty cool when you're wakeboarding, skiing. Rider goes down, if there's no one around, you just jam on those brakes. You could even back it up super easily. But yeah, very easy to do. So you've got a number of controls here. It's going to be hard to show you the dash in here. We're going to try to show you a little bit, so I'll just turn it on. We'll zoom in a second here, but it does come on and light up there. 10.25-inch screen here with a Garmin system here. So you have a number of things here. It is a touch screen here. You have your navigation here as well. The other thing that's pretty cool is this pairs with the BRP Go app. So once you have that installed, you gain even more features on here. So you have all the stuff you need, but you have navigation through here, so it's a lot like your car. You have the Garmin system here, so you have depth finders, all kinds of stuff, and you've got everything you could possibly need, including a little storage space just above there. What I will say about this is, again, hard to demonstrate just here on land. We can do a separate video on some of the technology a little bit later, but you have everything at controls here. This is what they do on their snowmobiles, this is what they do on their ATVs, and what they do on the Can-Am Spyders. Everything is easy to control here. So speaker up and down, menu by items, that kind of thing. You can do it without even having to look for the switches. You can control stuff. Again, this is designed for used on the road in something like a Can-Am Spyder. It's a very similar control system, and it's very easy to understand what you'd go through. Again, it takes a little tiny bit of a learning curve just to figure out what you've got in there, and then you can do everything kind of hands-free, which is super, super cool. Now the screen just turned off because we're not fully starting it up. There is a kill switch just underneath the floor, and actually, you know what? We're going to turn it back on for 1 second, because as we have it on, if we can turn it back on, we can show you the blue lights that are currently set up for blue on the LED light. So let's show you that real quickly while it's on. All right, so taking a look here, again, that's sort of the helm position there. We'll show you that in a second, but again, not on wide angle, so sometimes that not wide angle can kind of skew the view and make it actually look smaller than it is. So to me, it currently looks smaller. The wide angle can make it look bigger. Just sort of show you the wide angle for a second there. You know, feels a lot closer to the wide angle, to be honest with you. All right, zooming in here, we talked about this sort of bar here. Let me just show you what that is. This is a handle that is, again, I'm about 6 feet tall, you can sort of see where it is, but again, this piece is always solidly mounted. So sometimes if you get someone to move these seating things around, and maybe they didn't secure it properly, which is, again, super simple to do, but we all know that's gonna happen, you always know this is secure. So we got some storage on top there, we sort of opened that up, sort of talked about that, then you got a little bit of storage down beside there, and then you have, the other thing worth pointing out, I'm in the shadows there, just above my head, is if we zoom in a little bit, you'll see the fuel fill. So that would be the passenger side of your car if you're towing this. And again, you can unzip that area on the soft side to get your fuel fill in. The other thing worth showing you here is the floor. Again, my head, the shadow is in the way, so we're gonna try to move that out of the way, but you can sort of see those sort of 4 pieces. I'm going to move it up to the edge of the screen, try to get the camera out of the way, but there's that 4 circular type thing I showed you with the shadow, not with my hand. That is an area where something like a seat can clip into there. So you can kind of see it in the center of the screen there. Again, both this and that has that there. So that is an option for you to clip your seats into there. Or other items as well. And then we talked about this table over here. So sorry for my poor camera work. That's clipped into the seats. I'll show you on the back of this seat right now, the type of clip that that's clipped into. And we're also gonna show you that swim platform because it's got some unique stuff as well. So we're gonna show you this seat in a second from the other side. So again, this corner mounted seat does have this little rail here. Let's just zoom all the way in and you can sort of see there's those little pieces there. That's where something like that table can click into. And Sea-Doo always has accessories of things that can be clipped into. Let's keep it on a super tight angle. Again, there's the seat piece there and the seat piece here. As we zoom back out, fully wide angle, we're gonna see the camera tripod down there. Those are the hard plastic. Everything here is a soft place on your feet. So lots of places to put stuff and lock stuff in with different types of accessories that can be clipped in. Now let's go to the back and the swim platform, talk really briefly about that. All right, I just lied to you. Again, looking at sort of from close to the back of the boat forward here in the wide angle camera here. One thing I do want to show you though is the bimini. So the reason I'm not showing you the swim platform yet is just it's not the best angle to film it from here. I'm going to film it a little better in there. But you can see the top of the bimini here. We're zoomed right in. This space here, again, that well clears my head, but it does have some space in there. There's an LED light down here, but there's a lot of space. To me, I would think you could stick some towels up there or something like that. I haven't asked anybody if that's actually meant to carry weight, but to me, does seem like a spot where you could stick some really lightweight stuff and kind of keep it out of the area, but put away. So that is a little piece that I wanted to show you. Now let's jump out and we'll show you that swim platform and show you a couple things there. All right, continuing to use that wide angle camera again, so it's gonna skew the view a little bit. We're gonna change that view in a second. I just wanna show you where we are. We're at the back of the boat on that swim platform. What I wanna show you as we go into a regular view here is on this swim platform. If you've ever tried to climb up, it's nice to have a handle. There's a handle there and another handle here. So that's gonna allow you to come in off the sort of the side and the back here. Go back to a wide angle view and you can see it's kind of cornered off here. So you could come up off the side back, you can come off of the side, you can come up off the back. So that's kind of handy to have, just a little piece that not everybody's gonna point out to you. But the real thing I want to show you was right here. In that center panel is these sort of link system attachments. Now, if you've ever been to a Can-Am dealer, whether it's looking at a Can-Am Spyder, a Can-Am Ryker, a Sea-Doo, a Ski-Doo, whatever it is, you know that this link system, even ATVs and side-by-sides, that link system is able to carry everything. So you could put a cooler back here, you could put all kinds of like storage boxes, anything you would want to put from the link system. There's all kinds of things that fit into this unit. So that's a really practical area, which again, because of the width of this boat, you can fill that center with a box of some sort of cooler, whatever you want to put in there, and you could still use the swim platforms and have space out the side here. So that's a real key piece to show again the ingenuity here of these boats. There's a lot of things that are a little bit different about these boats. I didn't touch on as much so far, but let's just wrap this up with talking about who this is for, what's unique about it, and who, you know, how to decide if it's right for you. All right, so when we talk about who this boat is for, there's two components here, two components here that we should really talk about. First of all, the Switch itself. The Switch is a pontoon boat with some innovative features. The handling of a Sea-Doo is not just because the Sea-Doo brand wants to use the Sea-Doo components. It does add a benefit in helping you dock, in my opinion. Having the brakes out on the water, stuff like that, all kinds of little features. Having the link system to allow seats to move around, to allow accessories to be put in different places and be locked in place, and to have such a wide range of accessories that can be put on this is a real big selling point that we didn't even touch on in this video. Everybody's got their accessories, but you know, a lot of time a cooler just sort of slides in and that's where it goes, but it doesn't actually secure. So being able to properly secure stuff on a boat like this matters, because for a pontoon boat, it's also a sport boat. So it's gonna be that mix of someone who wants to move into the space. You can take up to 9 passengers in this, or 9 people on this, and they're all gonna have plenty of space in something this size. So it's not like you're crowded in 9 people, but you can take 9 people and they have space. That's a real good feature. If you want a fishing boat that is also a fun boat, that is also a cruising boat, that is also a sort of lounging boat, you can take a little barbecue out here and you could, have a little evening, gathering, whatever you want. This boat is gonna be comfortable no matter what, but to be fair, all the Switch boats will be. Even the compact model that I believe is 16-ish feet. I think it's 16-ish feet. This one's 21 feet. So no matter what size you get, all of that goes on. So the real question is, why move up to the Limited? Well, there's a few things. First of all, it's nice to have those LED lights. There are some niceties, but this is basically a fully optioned up boat, and a lot of time you're gonna option certain things up in certain ways anyways. If you like to fish, you've got the depth finder, you've got the proper Garmin GPS system, you've got other systems, all of it's connecting with that Go app, but then of course you also have a ton of flexibility. Like I said, on some boats you have a little bit more flexibility with the seating, some boats you have a little bit less. The shorter they are, the little less flexible seating you have, but you can create an entire front platform for just fishing in the morning. Throw those seats out on the dock or inside somewhere, and then you can put them back in when you get back from fishing in the morning and take people out for a sport boat afternoon, and then you can of course move a table in and out and that kind of thing and have your evening dinner all within a day, and it takes no time to do. So somebody who wants a boat that does everything is what these Switches are for. And if you're going to accessorize up your other Switch, you might as well just start looking at this and see what you don't need, because if there's anything you don't need, you can start moving down, but there's a pretty good value in this boat. Again, pontoon boats sometimes look simple, but they can creep up in price, and if you're gonna creep up in price, why not get something that does everything for you, from sport to leisure to everything else? I will say I'm a huge fan of this boat. For me, I don't need a huge boat like this. I like the in-between sizes. I thought I liked the compact. We started with the Sport Compact. I'm gonna take a look at the in-between sizes in the future. So do me a favor, if you made it this far in the video, you gotta leave me a like, comment, something like that. If you have questions that I didn't get to, feel free to let me know as well. And we're gonna keep coming back to this lineup again and again to make sure that you have as much information as you possibly can about these boats. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll talk to you in the next one.